Hello guys, welcome to a tutorial with SadClown. That's right, I've not really done that many tutorials. I think I've done one a long time ago, and recently someone said that they would very much like to see sort of some tutorials on how I do my editing, or sort of behind the scenes stuff. So I thought I'd start it off with a nice sort of how I do my walking animation cycles with Blender. I know there are quite a lot of them out there. So I thought, well, you know what, why not? Let's put my 2 cents in as well. So let's get started. I've got a nice little platform. Essentially it would be like the inside of a house, long corridor or something. I've got a light set up here so that when there we go, so you see it, so that when we render the animation it should look something like, oh, there's no camera, oops. Let's add a camera real quick then. Camera. Now the camera always goes wherever this thing is. So, new objects always go where that thing is. Let's jump to camera. Little square camera. Normally a little more rectangular. I'm not sure why this is. Maybe I've done something in the past and it's altered it. Height, that's why I rotated. Right, so let's do a image. So you can see we've got some nice lighting. I think I might want to just quickly, that's for editing the sequence that you've made. We're not really going to be going into that too much in this one. Let's see if I can quickly add, I'm trying to remember where it is. There we go. Quickly add. That should be hidden. Oh, I told it to hide. Sorry guys, I said hide the FPS. I don't know why it jumped in. Anyway, see if I can add in some shadows. Or can I not with this particular one? This one does not want us to have it. Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, there we go. Right, anyway, let's get on with this. So, I have got the keyframing set to, every time anything moves, basically I've got it set to location, rotation or scale. Anytime anything's rotated, anytime anything is moved or resized, it will automatically add in a keyframe. So to start off, starting at 0 keyframe, so I'm going to select all on my model here, on my SadClown. I'm going to hit I. Successfully keyframed 720 frames. Wow. I do have this set to 30 FPS for the rendering. So every 20 frames I think is a good way of doing this. So we're going to start by grabbing hold of the waist. Now, some people like to have this stick to wherever you're clicked on, but I like to be able to freely move it around just to get some perspective at times. Middle mouse wheel just to shift where you're looking at, and bend the knees, and we're going to move it forwards, bend a little more, and about there. Then we're going to grab one of his feet. I think we're going to start with the left foot, and we're going to bring that forwards. Now that doesn't look right in compared to the waist, so we're going to move the waist a little more. As you can see, that back leg's now straightening out. However, all he's doing there is sliding his foot along. So we're going to go to halfway, going to go to 10 frames, select the foot again, raise that up off the floor, and this is where the actual, that's the wrong bit, active element. Now it snaps to the thing that we're using, so we can just rotate the foot like so and bring it up a little more. Now let's see what that looks like. Let's get the box out of the way, a little cursor. So as you can see, not only does it, he brings his foot up, forwards and down, which looks quite good. Now at this point you need to make sure that you actively manually keyframe the next foot, because it's not going to do it otherwise. But before we move the next foot, we also want to grab the waist again, whenever you take a step, you kind of go upwards a little bit, don't you? So that's what we're going to do. Move the waist up. Need to make sure we're not stretching the leg too much. Oh, forgot to bend at the beginning here. My mistake. If we do it there, so it doesn't look like he's just standing there in a crouch. And there. And next, we need to move the arms. So, fairly simple. To keep a counterbalance thing going out, we're going to move the left arm right arm forwards whenever the left leg is moved. So, I'm going to move that forwards there, and give this a little. I said, come here. Give this a little bend like so. And this one is going to go backwards. It's going to be a small bend in the elbow, but not as much because the arm is swinging backwards. We also want to give him a little bit of a forward motion in the chest here, and if I can, oh no, I need the bounding block, the cursor back up there. Why do I keep going to that one? Active element. I wanna give, come on, a small thing like that. There we go. Only a small twist, maybe a tiny bit more. If you want to do it without, if you want to, there. If you only want to move it slightly, you can hold Shift and it will slow down. Oh no, not Shift. I can't remember what button it is. Oh well. But you can see down in the bottom left, it'll be here, how much you're moving it, to help find out where you want to be. Right, so next, we'll go to 40. Now, if you remember, we've already keyframed this at 20. So we're going to move the waist again. The waist is already has been moved downwards by the end of this section here. Now the leg has been twisted, but that will be fine, it's not a problem. As soon as you move it, it rights itself. And now we're going to shift this the other direction a little bit. Turn the arm back. Straighten it out. Like so. Move this one forwards. Make sure the head is looking the way we want it to look. I think we're okay. Then we're going to go back to 30, which is the halfway point between the two steps. That is not the thing I selected. There we go. I wanted to select. So once again, we're going to go ahead. We're going to bring it back onto active element, so that we can give it its little tip, rotate, whatever you want to call it. And we want to bring this up again, like so. So after all that, let's take a look here, shall we? Alt A. No, it's not much. Let's have a look through our camera. I think that looks quite good so far, and it's a matter of repeating it basically. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to repeat this section, or repeat all this sort of motions, and I'm going to fast forward it as well, just so we can get a bit more going than just 2 steps. And you'll see what it's like in just a moment. Okay guys, so as you just saw, we've got the basic walk down, just a few steps, but I know he's swaggering a bit too much. This is just kind of a quick tutorial, and you can fine tune your own as you go along. The fine tuning can take quite a lot longer. So next thing, camera position. While we're here, we may as well deal with this. So we've got the camera here. I'm going to need the 3D cursor. I would like, let's set this back up to 0. Let's get some distance here. Right, so that's where he starts. And finishes here. So what I would like to do, no, select the camera again. Thank you. Swing it round. And zoom in. That way, the swagger that he has going on isn't going to be quite as apparent. Now he almost comes out of the frame here, and I want to keep him central throughout. Let's try one more thing. Over here. No. Where are we right now? We're here. 120, so 60 is the midway point. Maybe I just had too many changes. There. That's not too bad. Right, so that's all it is going to be for now. Don't worry about the fact that the root here has been left behind. That's what moves the whole thing. There is one other thing I would like to get done, and I know this is just supposed to be walking, but it's the blinking. So what you can do is every X amount of frames, you don't want it to happen too often, so let's say every 30 frames, we're just gonna bring them down most of the way and bring the bottom lids up a small amount to meet it. I know my skin doesn't match the lids on this properly, but it's okay. And then, oh no, I made a mistake. I always do that every time, guaranteed. So start at 25. We're going to grab the eyelids, we're going to keyframe the eyelids, then at 30 we are going to close the eyelids, holding shift to select multiples, and then at 35 we're going to Alt G on selected things, and it replaces the things that we grabbed, i.e. moved. So let's take a look at that. Nice little blinking motion there. Nice and quick. So what I'm going to do now, 55, I'm going to open up this again. Now I've got all these little ones are just because of the wood that I made and created, and yeah. But my rig is right down at the bottom of this lot. All the way down here. So what do I want? I would very much like the eyelids. So let's go ahead and highlight, no not you, highlight all 4 of the eyelids. That should show us on here. There we go, there, those 4 there. So let's zoom in on this. Let's make sure that the eyelids are the only thing selected. There is another way. Press B, you can do a drag and select. And we're going to, I think it's Control D, no, Shift D, there we go, Shift D. And we're going to put the first part of the blink where we have the line in our timeline, where the green line is. So that's at 55. So we go to the next 30 with here, and then back to 85 and do the same thing again. sure it all syncs up. Where does our ends at 120? That's fine. So 90. Okay, no, there's no point in putting another one in. Let's take a quick look at this through the camera. That's a bit too quick for my liking. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to select all the blinks. I'm going to bring the green line just to here. I think it was S. Yes, S enables me to... Oh, no. If I was to do it all, it will stretch the time between, like, it will take longer to perform a blink. So this one can stay here. And I suppose we'll just move them instead. So, select them, grab, and just shift them along a little bit. Okay, deselect, thank you. Grab, and let's do it about here. Let's take another quick look. Oh, no, we want the camera. Thank you. There we go, that's not too bad. Right, so our walking animation ends at 120. So I'm going to put the end, move the end from 250, which is generally what it's set to by default whenever you start a new animation. Tell it 120, that's where our animation is going to end. I have it set for, where are we? It's on here somewhere. No. Seriously, it's on 30 FPS there, and I should have AVI RAW. That's because I'll be using this in Sony Vegas to render. I also next tutorial video, I plan on doing. I like to use Sony Vegas to input my sounds rather than, you can do it in here, but I like to do it in Sony Vegas, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a editing and rendering video next. But for now, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to start the render. Let's go do it frame by frame, and I will come back in just a minute with the finished product. Alright guys, well hopefully you liked this little video. I'll be honest, until someone said it to me, I never thought that this would be a thing that people might enjoy. I've never thought, you know what, I'd really like to see how a YouTuber did that. It's not until I need to know information that I go looking. But yeah, so if you really like this, let me know and I'll try and get some more done. Hopefully also get quite a number of views as well to help save the channel. Fingers crossed, eh? Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. Next episode I will show you editing in the sounds. Thank you very much for watching guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.